For the second straight day, all eyes are on room 226 in the Dirksen Senate office building. That is where the Judiciary Committee will be gathering at 9:30, and we will be bringing that to you live. We are expecting all senators may want an opportunity to speak, but we are not sure if that's going to happen before or after Kavanaugh's confirmation. No matter what the results are, it will still go to the full Senate for a vote, perhaps as early as next Tuesday. So why does today's vote matter so much? Because even one Republican defection in committee could cause big trouble in the Senate as well, since the Republicans can only afford one no vote, assuming all Democrats vote in opposition. All of this comes on the heels of Thursday's extraordinary and emotional 9-hour hearing. At its core, the hearing was meant to shed some light on Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's allegations that Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her in the summer of 1982. But over the course of the day, the hearing exposed the rocky and very uncomfortable evolution of a cultural debate covering everything from the Me Too movement and the changing nature of male-female relationships to the extreme partisanship, tribalism that has come to define our national politics. And caught in the middle were two people, two families really, whose lives will never, ever be the same.
The details about that night that bring me here today are the ones I will never forget. They have been seared into my memory and have haunted me episodically as an adult.
Dr. Ford, with what degree of certainty do you believe Brett Kavanaugh assaulted you?
100%.
What you are telling us is this could not be a case of mistaken identity.
Absolutely not.
None of these allegations are true.
Correct.
No doubt in your mind.
Zero. I'm 100% certain.
Not even a scintilla.
Not a scintilla. 100% certain, Senator.
You swear to God?
I swear to God.
Senate Republicans met to discuss the testimony after the hearing, but key members of their caucus, they are still on the fence. The most important may be the retiring Jeff Flake, Republican from Arizona, and the swing vote on the Judiciary Committee. And here's what he said last night.
It's a close call. I mean, you leave with doubts whichever way. That's the nature of this. There's no way you can leave that hearing room certain that you're completely right. He's right, she's wrong. She's right, he's wrong. I mean, you're never certain. You just do the best you can. That's what we're trying to do.
After the hearing, Flake met with fellow Republicans Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, as well as West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin. As of now, all of their votes are up in the air. Remember, if a Democrat like Manchin votes yes, that gives Republicans more margin for error. One senator who was previously thought to be on the fence, Bob Corker, now says he will support Kavanaugh's confirmation. And here's what he said last night.
I sat today in my office and listened to every word of the testimony, and I thought both were compelling. But I just didn't feel like that the allegations were corroborated. I think there will be a motion to proceed vote on Saturday around noon, and I plan to support that and plan to support his nomination.
Of course, there is one other possibility here. The American Bar Association wrote a letter to the Judiciary Committee late last night asking for them to delay the confirmation vote so that the FBI can carry out an investigation into the sexual misconduct allegations. Quote, each appointment to our nation's highest court, as with all others, is simply too important to rush to a vote. Deciding to proceed without conducting an additional investigation would not only have a lasting impact on the Senate's reputation, but it will also negatively affect the great trust necessary for the American people to have in the Supreme Court.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.